Welcome to Trial by Wine. We take a closer look at crimes that highlight how fascinating humans can be. Schmidty, Swanny and Clarky visit crimes and run them through their jury of three, debating both sides of the case to agree an appropriate, if totally fictitious, sentence. Please be advised, Trial by Wine may include explicit or disturbing content and will include drunken rambling. Listener discretion is advised. All right, here we are again.
All right.
Another week.
Hello, hello.
So good.
Hi.
So good.
How are you? We good?
Great.
I'm good.
Yeah, great. We did a little bit of marketplace selling this weekend, so sold off some things that have been taking up a bit too much space and made a little bit of coin in the process, so it's been a lot of fun. Marketplace is the best.
Oh, it's definitely, it's definitely overtaken eBay and Gumtree, I think, for being able to shift stuff, yeah.
And it's way better than the Trading Post.
Is that even still happening?
I don't think so,
but, remember the castle? Tell him he's dreaming. Jousting sticks.
Now, I reckon you could get jousting sticks on Marketplace.
Wait, isn't that up near Ilden? Bonnie Doon?
Yeah, they go up to Bonnie Doon. Yeah. I went up to Ilden again because I had a houseboat owners committee meeting, which was amazing. But yeah, it was actually quite a good meeting. And then Tony and I spent yesterday pottering around fixing the power system, which is now operational. Yay! Which means that it can charge my batteries when I'm not there. And then we came back this morning.
Impressive.
So yeah, it was lovely though to get away for the second weekend in a row. And then next weekend we're going up to Swan Hill. We go up on the Saturday. So I'm going to book a room in the library for Sunday, just in case there's no internet in the caravan park that we'll be staying in. Because obviously we'll be recording an episode next week as well. Because, time doesn't stop. No holidays for Trial by Wine. Yeah, so that was me. And Carla, you had a big week.
I did indeed. I can't believe what we've done in such a short period of time. But we flew up to Broome after the kids went to school on Monday morning, so it wasn't even early. And then we got there sort of mid-afternoon and we waited, and then we boarded the boat in Broome Harbour at 4 o'clock or so. And then it steams out. It's 13 hours out into the ocean. So we went out to what's called the Rolly Shoals, and, after being absolutely petrified to start with, because I'm thinking, my God, I can't see land anywhere. There's going to be everything under the sea. I don't know, they just help you. There's like this incredible crew. So you end up snorkeling. Jeremy was able to go diving. I went fishing, albeit, a junior version, but it was fabulous. It was a lot of fun. And then we flew back in. You go back to Broome overnight on the Friday and flew down to Perth yesterday afternoon. All done.
Do you feel rested?
I did. And I probably will once I stop this afternoon. I haven't even unpacked our bags. I've been doing, penance and stuff with the kids this morning. But it was just so lovely to, we haven't really travelled away from where we live because of COVID. We've just really been here the whole time. And it doesn't take long, sometimes even a couple of days. I felt good by about day 2, to be honest. Just to get out of it and to be looked after was so nice. Every meal, all the cocktails, oh God, it was just, I didn't have to think about anything, just had to turn up. It was a bit like a camp because there was so many things going on. Like I didn't even get to my book until we were sort of sitting in the lounge yesterday waiting for the flights. But that was what was so wonderful about it. There was just, you didn't have to think, you just had to turn up to do things, and then it was awesome. Really enjoyed myself. Highly recommended.
Nice.
How many people were there on board?
I think that there were 34 guests and there were 19 crew. So
Yeah.
there were some people on their own. There were couples. Real cross section of people from different walks of life, certainly different age groups. Like the eldest person was in his 80s. His son took him as I wouldn't say a last hurrah, but he was in a little bit of ill health, and everybody was behind, dear Jack. They took him snorkeling. They got him to do all these amazing things. It was really moving, actually. There were some younger couples and, people who were not professional, but, really keen divers, to people like Jeremy who hadn't been for a dive in, 20 years, and they were able to help him do that. And then people like me who were, frankly, shit scared of being out in the middle of the ocean and have left with a totally different appreciation for when it's done in a certain environment that what you can see is quite amazing.
I was saying to Tony, because we've been on a couple of big cruises, and I said, she went on this boat called True North, and it looked like a very discreet, very nice for me, it looked like fishing, snorkeling,
It's an adventure.
water activity.
It goes up to Kimberley.
So I looked great. Didn't look as good as being on the second story of my houseboat, of course, but I'm just joking.
They
but
can
yeah,
land a
that looked great.
helicopter on True North, so it's a flash boat.
So it's not tiny. Yeah, it looked great. All right, now Paul, what are you drinking?
Well, today, so we had this horrible thing. I think I told you, was it last week, the week before, where we ran out of wine. When I say ran out of wine, we ran out of white wine. We have plenty of Prosecco and plenty of red wine, but we had no white wine, which for us is just complete disaster. So we had to go and buy some wine from, I don't know, Uncle Dan's or whatever it was. Anyway, so then I got an emergency dozen from a local winery, and Stuart bought an emergency dozen from a local winery, and then our 4 wine club memberships turned up. So now we are drowning in wine, and we still have a couple more wines to be delivered. So we're back stocked up, and everything's good again. But we're having a Pizzini Verduzzo. So this got delivered during the week, and it's very delicious. Just to give you, it's an Italian varietal. But the last little bit I like, hang on, let my eyes adjust.
What was it called, Clarky?
It's called Verduzzo, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Maria Venuti.
Oh, yes, Venutizzo.
And Maria Venuti.
Is she the one who died in the boot, or is that a different Maria?
Oh, I didn't know that she was dead. She had very large bosom, and she used to be sort of like on all those variety shows. She Victorian, Schmidty? Larger than life Italian lady.
I don't know who it is.
I know the name.
Nah, not ringing a bell.
I was thinking of Maria.
Oh gosh, I really hope she hasn't
whatever her name
passed. I
was.
didn't know.
No, she had. I was thinking of someone else who was murdered. Different story.
Oh,
So,
fair enough.
Right.
our Verduzzo is a complex, full-bodied drop featuring bold floral aromas. It's delicious. Anyway, that's what I'm drinking. How about yourself?
And Carla?
Well, I haven't got one in front of me, but if I did, and it's not actually wine, but I did discover a new drink that I really liked, and I'm going to get the stuff now that I'm back and have it so I can have it at home, and it's called a Ginger Ninja. And what it is, it's like alcoholic ginger beer from I think it's actually from a brewery in Broome. Do you brew ginger beer? I guess so. So it's called Matzo's, and they put it with dry ginger ale. No, that's not right. They put it with gin. That's wrong. So the Matzo's dry ginger ale, which is alcoholic, with gin. Oh. And it's fabulous. But I thought that it had Prosecco as well in it. So when I went to chat with the bar girl afterwards, and I said to her, oh my God, they're amazing, because I'd had 3. I'd like to make them at home. And I said to her, oh, so it's got the Matzo's ginger beer, gin, and Prosecco. And she said, it doesn't have Prosecco in it. So God knows how potent it would have been if I had have added that to the mix. But that's what I would be drinking and shall be drinking when I get
back on
the
it.
order in.
Maybe next week you can do one of the ones with Prosecco and one without.
Yes, I think I'd probably only need one with Prosecco. I think I'd be, because it was quite potent. Anyway, it was good. And it worked. It's a way I could drink gin. It's your turn, Schmidty.
So, no, I don't want to tempt fate or anything, but I'm enjoying another Captain Morgan, the old pirate juice.
Yes.
And it's all
back.
just about how...
The pirate back.
Ardy.
It's all about how fraught Paul's story is as to how manage this. But yes, I'll tell you my favourite joke, pirate joke.
Go on.
Pirate says, where are me buccaneers? The other pirate says, either side of your bucking head. Ba-da-chung.
Yeah.
My favourite pirate joke.
Good one.
I'm here all week. So, shall we introduce ourselves? I'm Schmidty.
I'm Swanny.
And I'm Clarky.
And together we are Trial by Wine. All right, so Clarky, I believe you have a story for us.
Well, yes, as it turns out I do. So I'm going to share with you a couple of little moments that cropped up during my week that I think, we are Trial by Wine. We like to come up with some unusual punishments, and as luck would happen, twice during this week, something just came across my life that are some very interesting punishments. So just if you'd like to bear with me, I'll share a couple of stories with you before we get stuck into the main event. So the first one popped up on Facebook of all things. It's a news clipping from a paper. Unfortunately, it doesn't say what paper it is. The heading is "Thief Tastes Bitter Failure," and it's from Auckland. So the offender has yet to be found, but the punishment admirably fitted the crime, police believe. An elderly couple camping in a mobile home at an East Coast camping ground were awakened by a noise outside. Thinking nothing of it, they went back to sleep. The next morning, it was apparent a potential petrol thief had tried to take their fuel. Happens a bit, not a lot, but happens a bit. But as the police magazine 10-1 reported, the thief got more than he or she bargained for. On the ground by one of the mobile home's tanks was a pool of vomit and a siphon hose. Also lying on the ground was not the cap from the fuel tank, but the cap from the mobile home's sewage holding tank. Like, that is the best punishment for someone trying to siphon petrol out of your tank. Oops. Sewage.
That is vile. Oh.
Yeah. So keep that one in mind for future criminals that we have to sentence.
That's a great punishment.
No, it's funny because in this houseboat thing, the whole conversation is about the legislation coming in about grey water. So there's a lot of discussion about sewage and poo in these. And the poo barge, which is the barge that actually pumps all the poo out of your tanks. Yeah, it's so disgusting. And the guy who was, I told you before, Professor Sumner Miller. How did you say it? Sumner Miller, thank you. It's not actually his real name, but our resident professor was talking about how one time when he was there and he took it off and he noticed about a litre of sewage just leaking out. And I was like, oh, yes, I've seen that before. So fortunately, I wasn't siphoning it nor accidentally drinking it. I can imagine how utterly disgusting that would have been.
Oh, my God.
So punishment does fit the crime. So, yes, I think keep that one in mind. Now, this one is one that literally happened. This is published on the 3rd of November, so quite red hot as we record. And there's a couple of sources, so 9 News, India Times, and good old Lad Bible. I don't know if you've ever gotten onto Lad Bible, but it does have some trashy
I love
stories.
Lad Bible.
Yeah. So it goes a little something like this. A man's disfigured body has been recovered from a lake in Brazil. The 30-year-old was fishing with 2 mates when they were swarmed by a group of bees. So you're, on the river or a lake, attacked by bees. Apparently the men were fishing in the lake and their boat hit logs, causing the beehive to become disturbed. In an effort to get away from the attack, they jumped into the farm lake in the municipality of Brazilandia de Minas Gerais. I am going to absolutely ruin any kind of...
Nailed it.
Did I?
Portuguese.
Any foreign language, I will ruin. And bear in mind, my next story is from Malaysia, so this will be a common theme throughout today's episode. But just sit back and enjoy it. Estados de Minas reports the 2 friends managed to swim to safety. However, their pal couldn't be found. The fire department was called to help find the bloke, and an officer was about to dive into the lake when they were told it was full of piranhas.
Oh my God!
Oh.
The body was eventually found 4 metres away from the shoreline over the weekend, and authorities could immediately see the carnivorous fish had made a meal out of him. Newsreader reports the fish tore open several parts of the body and tore open the right side of the face. Authorities were initially uncertain about whether the man died as a result of drowning or whether he was feasted on by the fish. I feel like either way he was feasted on by the fish. However, it was noted that the young man was in a boxer position, which is a typical position for drowning victims. Apparently, I googled that. I could not see any evidence of it, but let's go with it. So the man's body was eventually handed over to his family so they could perform a funeral. The South America's Amazon River basin is home to about 30 species of piranha, who who are terrifying fish that sport razor-sharp teeth and are known to be able to easily rip through flesh. Apparently, attacks on humans are extremely rare. However, they can happen when people get into unfamiliar water. Imagine that. You're fishing.
I used to have a terrible fear of piranhas as a child.
I still have a terrible fear of
I
piranhas.
know, but it's
and
not like they're going to be
sharks
around in
and
like
crocodiles.
Australian water. But I remember being very aware of piranhas as a child for some reason.
Yes.
Was that because you saw the film Piranha? Because I did.
Well, I
and it
probably didn't
terrified
watch it
me.
because I probably never watched anything that was a horror movie, but I would have been aware that it was around if people were talking about it. So possibly. It's like Cujo. I was also terrified of that all dogs had
Yes.
rabies. So yeah, probably.
St. Bernard's.
Yeah.
Yes, well, there you go. You're affected. Like Jaws. I'm terrified of...
Yes, of course.
The sea as a result.
Consideration for sure. Which
Basically,
good reason.
just
Have
don't
you
get
seen what's
wet.
happened over here? Oh,
Yes. Port
Oh,
Beach.
no, another one.
Yeah, Port
Yeah.
Beach.
North
we're
Beach.
still looking for the man.
So, just that one.
Oh,
that one.
so this guy got, like, just to confirm, he got multiple stings from bees, which are extremely painful, jumped in the water, and then got eaten by piranhas. Like, you couldn't have a worse day.
That's exactly
Oh, but he also
right.
may have drowned in between.
Yeah. So, you know,
And maybe drowned.
He might have been a triple threat on bees dying and piranhas. I mean, what are the likelihoods of those things taking you out?
may or may not have felt any of the piranha nibbles. May have felt every single one of them.
I
Who
hope,
knows?
yeah. Oh, God.
So I just kind of thought, you know, like we often talk about obscure punishments, and I feel like we could actually make that a if we had obscure punishment world as a like Disneyland kind of thing, that could be one of the rides where you go fishing, you get attacked by bees, you then end up in the water, and then you may or may not drown, but you'll definitely get eaten by piranhas.
I like it. All bases are covered.
Yeah, like depending on the severity of the crime, you make it to the end of the ride. You may only get part way through and get pulled out just in time. May just lose a leg.
It needs a little, a catchphrase, a little name like the Brazilian.
Just leave it at that.
Yes,
Because
yes, good point.
you'll end up
Name
bare.
itself.
You'll end up bare by the end of it. Those piranhas will do that to you.
Oh, stop.
Right. Anyway, so they're just a couple of little stories I thought I'd share with you before I got into the real thing. So.
While you're contemplating the most macabre theme park ever.
Yes. I think we could keep adding to that. Anyway, so today's story comes to us from Malaysia, and it's about a lady who is named Mona Fandey. I've got a little story to play for you first. Not a little story, a little song to play for you first. And we're going to incorporate it into a game, and I'll give you the first little bit of the story before we get stuck into the song, and then we can play the little game.
Okay.
So,
I'm
Mona...
already tense.
You're already tense, did you say?
I'm tense. Yes.
Jeepers. Okay, well, so
All right.
I'll tell you a little bit about...
Have another sip of your rum.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So I'll give you a little bit of background. So Mona wasn't her real name. So her real name was Masna Ismail, and she was born on the 15th of January 1956 in Kangar, Federation of Malaya. And from an early age showed an intense passion for singing, dreaming of one day becoming a famous singer. In the early 1970s or early 80s, she met and married Muhammad Noor Afandi Abdul Rahman, who promised to help her become a pop star. Shortly afterward...
That was just one person?
Correct, yes. Yes, with a very big pause in there, yes.
Just to clarify.
I could take a deep breath and try to say it all in one if you would like, but I'm trying...
If you wouldn't mind, let's see if we can get through it before passing out.
Just bear in mind, I'm trying to concentrate, breathe, and say words that I don't really understand. So hang on, we'll give it a go. My time.
And not trying to be culturally inappropriate as well, of course.
Oh well, yeah.
That's a very tight rope we have to walk.
That cultural inappropriate bit, I'm not struggling with so much. So anyway, she met and married Muhammad Noor Afandi Abdul Rahman.
Well done.
Got it!
Yes. So he promised to help her become
We'll call him Mo for short.
yeah, Momo.
Mo.
So he promised to help her become a pop star. Shortly afterward, Masna changed her name to Mona Fandey, and with funds from a Fandey, released a studio album titled Diana. During her time as a singer, she also made several television appearances. But unfortunately, and you're going to be shocked when you hear the song, she was not successful in the music industry.
This isn't that recording of, it was something like Malaysia's Got Talent or Someone's Got Talent, and someone sings...
You're thinking of Ken Lee, aren't you? Mariah Carey. I Ken Lee!
Ken Lee!
Yeah.
Do-dibby-dibby-da-do.
Yeah,
I thought it was Ken Lee.
It's not Ken Lee. No, but that is absolute gold. I knew where you were going with that. So, anyway, let's play Diana, but I want you to just hear a little bit of the song. We'll maybe give it, 30 seconds. And after that, we're going to play a little bit of a game called Guess This Singer's Crime. Now, there is nothing in there is nothing in the song that will give away the crime, but I'd just like to do it as an experiment and see if you can somehow manage to be psychopathic about it and guess the crime, okay? So here's a little bit of Mona with Diana.
Well, it's not as bad as Friday, can't wait till Friday, or whatever that terrible song was.
Saturday, Sunday.
And it's not Gangnam Style.
I think it's fair to say that Muhammad, or whoever her husband was not Simon Cowell when he was going to get her into the music business.
Yes.
He's got Malaysia's Simon Cowell.
No, I think you're on the money there.
Guessing he overpromised and underdelivered on any commitment to get her to be a star.
Perhaps.
So now you've heard a little bit of...
Why is she dressed? She seems to be wearing a tie around her head. Is she trying to be like Rambo styling?
Yeah, foxy 80s, like, let's get physical, that kind of headband.
Or a little bit of either that or Malaysia's version of Danny Minogue singing This Is It. Remember she was dressed up like a pineapple on the beach?
Vaguely, yes.
There's a little bit of similarity, although I did like Danny's song better. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, I didn't really like Diana.
Diana! That first one's a little bit scary, I think. Just comes out of nowhere. So anyway...
It's very haunting. I think that was a word that did come to mind. Haunting.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes. So given...
Diana a lady's name in Malay?
Well, I wondered if it was about Diana, as in Princess Diana.
Princess. Her,
as opposed to what? Dirty Diana?
Which could also be the same person. We don't know. There is nothing to say that Michael Jackson didn't write that song about Diana. Well, nothing.
Maybe he. Yeah,
nothing
perhaps.
Nothing in front of me right now. There's probably a whole lot of fact that would say otherwise. But yes, nothing in front of me right now. Anyway, so now let's play the little game. So, what is the crime? Do you think?
Fraud.
Fraud? Right.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Well, she's certainly not much of a singer.
A fraudulent
fraud going
singer.
on.
Yes. I like it.
Yeah.
I like your logic. Yes.
Did we know if the song was recorded before the crime or after the crime?
Definitely before.
I'm just trying to listen to her state of mind when she's singing this hauntingly beautiful song.
Yeah, no. This is when she still thought that she would be the next big thing, or maybe hoped that she'd be the next big thing.
Oh, so this is pre-crime. Okay. Bank robbery.
Bank robbery. It's interesting, because there are kind of elements of both of that in this story. So I'm going to go with well done to both of you. Neither of those are the crimes.
I was thinking on the lines of sort of money and stardom, maybe somehow, trying to get some
you're
ill-gotten gains,
yeah. Well, you're both on the right path then. However, that's not the crime. Neither of those are the crimes she was convicted of, but she definitely, in my opinion, committed both of them. So now you've heard Diana, great song. So after that,
great song.
Unfortunately, she was not successful in the music industry. I know you're both shocked, but we can move past that. So the couple were forced to look for other means of income. So I've tried my hand at being a pop star. Can't do that. So what I'm going to do, me being Mona when I say this, is I'm going to become a Malayan shaman and a medicine woman because witchcraft is popular in Malaysia, or certainly was at the time. So, Schmidty, this is where the fraud.
Call that like a pivot, or is that in terms of career path? Is that what you go from pop star to shaman? I don't know.
Really,
often
that makes perfect sense. Both performance. They're both performance based.
Yep.
And there's a lot of wailing. There's a lot of wailing in shamanism. I'm sure. So I can see it. I can see the connection.
So I'm just wondering. It's a really good question. Maybe we should go back and look into the career advice you get in Malaysia, because maybe that is actually a well-known career path. Maybe it's complete 180. I don't know that, but happy to go with either at this point. But Schmidty,
I guess it's a little bit like, where you have the pop star, actress, model. In Malaysia, you have the pop star shaman. I don't know
exactly.
It's just, oh God, another one. Oh, she'll be an influencer next.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that old chestnut.
Was she the trailblazer?
Influencer.
Yeah, was she the trailblazer or was she the follower? Who knows? But
absolutely, I think that's an ad. She's been paid for that one. She doesn't really believe in that product.
Right.
Old Mona.
Yes. So anyway, she began offering her services, and when I say her services, I mean her shaman and medicine woman services. For those of you with a dirty mind, to many wealthy and powerful clients, including high-ranking politicians. Wealthy clients would pay large amounts of money for the couple's services, gaining them mass wealth very quickly, with the two purchasing several mansions and luxury cars. So I'm going to go with that's the fraudulent bit.
What were they doing?
They were offering...
I agree.
What does a shaman do? Sorry, just remind me.
Cure them. Well, I don't know, but I have heard other stories about Malaysian shamans, and I think they create spells.
Yeah, it's that sort of thing.
Like love potions and things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're a witch doctor.
Don't the shaman also sing Ebenezer Good, or was that a different band?
He's good.
That's it. Oh, is Ebenezer Good? Was that the shaman?
That's it. I had the single.
Did you?
Yes.
Is it the shaman really? Are you checking it?
It must have been from like about 1991 or something.
Yeah.
Ebenezer Good. Oh my God.
Is it the shaman?
It was the shaman.
Nailed it.
Not the Malaysian shaman or the Malayan shaman, just the shaman.
Oh, I thought they were English. They were actually a Scottish electronic dance band. So there you go.
There you go. I would have said English.
There you go. They were Scottish. The Scottish shaman.
Right. So as you were saying, she left the music business and became involved in spiritual witchcraft activities and was known to be a bomoh. Maybe BOMOH, bomoh. So she began offering her services to clients, mostly from the upper class society. She also claimed to have provided political clients in the ruling UMNO party. That's actually, when you read it, I thought it was a card game, but it's not it's no. Party with a variety. No, thanks. I don't want your shaman services.
No.
They actually must have all said yes. So she claimed to have...
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Sorry, Clarky, coming back to the career path, I know she's made a pivot. Where do you study? Do you go to TAFE or uni for your shaman studies? Where do you pick up your qualifications, seeing as though she's been able to charge such a large amount of money straight off the bat?
It's not Oxford.
Possibly.
We don't offer it.
Get the knowledge.
It's not a course that TAFE don't offer.
No, it'd be more like something where you visit a spiritual master in the Highlands at a temple. And you have to, eat witchetty grubs and chop your way through brick fences and stuff to.
So it's not a long,
skilled,
and choose some drugs.
You can do it quite quickly by all accounts.
take some drugs.
Yeah, like if you seen,
Get in touch with the spiritual world.
You
I'm doing my boogly
you do
eyes.
wax on, wax off, paint the fence. All those sorts of things.
And there's Jedi mastering there as well.
Yes.
Radio, sir.
All right, so
Sorry.
good chat. So she's apparently provided the no party with a variety of charms and talismans. So it was reported that Maslin Idris, also known as our victim, was a state assemblyman for the constituency of, here we go again, Batu Talam in the state of Pahang. So he wanted to boost his political career and sought the services of Mona for assistance. Oh, now, I must say at this point, if you've only just joined us and you're from Hobart and we're talking about the services of Mona, it's nothing to do with the art gallery. Anyway, so Maslin was educated in the US and was an ambitious politician from the ruling UMNO party. And I've just realised what it stands for. So it's called the United Malays National Organisation Party.
All right.
No.
Okay.
Not the United Malays Young Environmentalist Society Party, which would be the Yes Party.
Yes. That would have been much better.
Right, okay. It's going quite well so far. At that time...
Sorry, God.
At that time, Mona worked with her husband, Muhammad Noor Fandey Abdul Rahman, and he was 44, and their assistant, Jerome Hassan. Yes, Mo and Ju.
Assistant.
Moju. Should be Mojo. Should be Mojo. Yeah, remember they had, expensive properties and stuff, so it's working well for them.
They were big.
They were big.
Yeah, they were big. They were busy. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She must have been very good.
And that is the danger with most of these businesses.
Overnight success.
That's right. Too much growth. It can be very dangerous for your business model if you're not prepared for it.
Yeah, Mona was a shaman and her ease were good. All right, so Mona and her husband promised to help Maslin by giving him a talisman consisting of a cane and sputney.
A what? A cane and what?
I don't know what it is, but your face was funny.
Yep. So it says SBATMI, so I'm just saying that's pronounced sputney.
Oh.
SB for bad pronunciation.
Don't sput me, sput you.
Spat, like SBATMI.
M-I?
MI. It's headgear. MI, yeah.
Right.
Ironically, if you say it backwards, it's I'm tabs, which sounds a little bit like the E's were good. But anyway, they were going to give him a talisman consisting of cane and sputney headgear, which was supposedly owned by former Indonesian President Sukarno. Mona convinced Maslin that he would be invincible if he held the talisman. In return, Mona demanded 2.5 million
What's that
ringgit.
worth? About $60?
28.
You're going to have to Google that one for me. I did actually...
So 28 bucks?
Yeah.
28 bucks.
No, I did
28 bucks
actually look
Australian.
at it, and I don't think it was that bad. It's like reasonable money.
Let's have a
Maybe
look. I
like
don't know. It's
20% or
ringgit.
something.
Do
Maybe
you
more.
convert? She's on, what is it? Currency
I'm
exchange.
doing it.
Yeah. Yep. And ShamanTalismanValuation.com, which is also known as Shaman Marketplace.
Shopkeep bastards.
Oh, it's quite a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yes.
Did you say 2.5 million,
Yeah.
yeah? That's $813,568.25.
Yeah. Well, she...
And that comes to us courtesy of currencyconverterx.com.
Fantastic. In return, she demanded 2.5 million ringgit. He paid the couple 500,000 ringgit as a deposit and gave them 10 land titles as surety for the remaining 2 million ringgit. So, like, it's, it's all legit. It's all happening. They then had him come up to their home, where the three of them were, because they had their assistant, because, in any good shaman ritual, you need an assistant. So an appointment was made for cleansing rituals to be performed at Mona's house. Maslin was told to lie on the floor face up while Mona placed flowers on him. She then told Maslin to close his eyes and wait for the money to fall from the sky.
Yep.
Normally
Fair enough so far?
That's how it works. Yeah, that all makes
You
sense.
guys picture the assistant as some sort of, like, in a reality TV program, there's always like a little gay assistant who's running around, really stressed and doing a little bit of drama to it all. I could just imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
God!
We've got to make this
I've got to
perfect!
get it now.
The guy with Bird Newton, Belvedere.
It's either that or it's like an
Yeah.
Igor one where he, drags a leg and has a horrible hunch, and there's got to be some kind of stereotypical
I'm imagining her like sort
assistant.
of Rachel Zoe with him being like Brad Goreski where he's running around. Oh.
So, if you were in that position, how long would you wait for
For the money to fall?
before you kind of went, the money's not falling from the sky? Yeah.
Oh, I'm in someone's house. I've
Good
got all
hour
the
and a
time
half.
to wait.
Hour and a half?
I don't know. I would assume it would take a while.
Are they putting on the drinks?
Probably depends how good the ease were.
Was he there alone? Or they sat there waiting for the money to come from...
Yeah, no. Look, the question is kind of, it's a moot point because
But there was a roof.
whilst he's lying there waiting for the money to fall from the sky.
It's on the roof outside.
Yeah, that's right. But while he's lying there waiting, Jeremy, the assistant, using an axe, chopped Maslin's head off.
Oh my God. I wasn't expecting to go there.
Oh, Jesus.
That escalated quickly.
The little camp assistant that I had in mind was
God.
not where... Oh, no, he wasn't going to do that. He was running around like matching outfits and making sure they looked fabulous. How did we get to this?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Like it escalates so quickly. And literally, I Googled for ages
Why?
trying to find out what else could be in there to fill that bit out. There is nothing. Yeah. Chopped his head off. And then,
Was that... So, sorry, was that planned?
well, I'm
my
assuming
God.
so. Yeah. And we'll get to the...
Right. So they said,
Yeah.
just shut your eyes, wait
yeah.
for the money to
God.
fall,
Yeah.
and we'll just cut your head
Yeah.
off. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, God.
No.
But also it makes no sense. You've been really successful with this business, conning people, frankly. Why would you suddenly just go, you know what? Let's just cut someone's head off.
Note to self,
It's just-
if I
anyway,
ever go to
sorry,
visit
Paul.
a shaman and they say to me, lie down and
They say,
wait,
"Close your
wait
eyes."
for the money to fall from the sky, get out,
No,
run.
no. Run, Forrest.
Exactly.
Run for the hills.
So they chopped his head off
Jesus.
and then also dismembered and partially skinned his body. His body was found in 18 parts, buried in a storeroom near Mona's house in Pahang.
Yeah.
What is it with you and stories with people who are being skinned?
Well, like it started off as a good little pop story, If only people had have bought her album,
Yes.
we may not be in this spot. Exactly. Coming back to my sources, so our friends at factandfictionfandom.com report that Maslin was killed due to the fact that the land deal he arranged had collapsed, but the trio still wanted the money.
Right. Okay.
I feel...
Well, that does make more sense than I'm just doing a normal bit of shamanistic behaviour and I'm just going to cut your head off for no apparent reason.
I'd like to think that there was some step in between though where they actually tried to get the money out of him, because if the deal had fallen through and he couldn't give them the money, I wouldn't go up there for the shaman experience. So it must have happened somewhere. There must be a little bit more to it that...
Yeah.
Anyway, that's up to them to work out, I guess. And this is where, Carla, your bank robbery comes into it. So he was reported missing on July 2nd, 1993 after withdrawing 300,000 ringgit, and shortly afterwards an investigation began. The police had no decent leads until they arrested Hassan on unrelated charges. So Hassan's the assistant, your little gay boy who's in his sequin pants trying to make sure
Hassan Chop.
the blood doesn't spatter whilst he
gosh.
chops someone's
That's a
head
big
off.
ask of your assistant, isn't
Not
it?
really sure.
Even he cut the head off, didn't he? Didn't the
he
assistant do
really?
the head cutting off?
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it
I
might
thought
be more
Maslin
Igor.
was-
Do you remember that? But there was a character who went around going, Hassan Chop. Hassan, chop.
No! Wow, they were ahead of their time.
They were.
They were.
Do you think?
Or maybe that's where they modelled it on.
If they'd asked for 2.5 million, and then he said he'd give them 500 plus the land, and he was only getting 300,000 out of the bank, maybe that's why they thought they had to chop his head off. He wasn't bringing the money to the party as agreed. But
It's a very good question, but the 300,000, yeah,
more money out of him when
a
he's
lot.
dead.
Cutting him up into 18 parts, I thought, was also a bit excessive.
I know,
And
they're
the
so
skinning
OTT.
completely. So unnecessary, yeah. It's those little gay boys when they get that, that so much stress that someone's got to pay, and I reckon that's what's happened. Maybe not. Anyway, so...
But I mean, I don't know if you'll go on to say this, but like, who was the mastermind? Was it Mona or Mo? Was it the husband or was it her?
Yeah, so, well,
I don't assume it wasn't the assistant.
I'll tell you a little bit more, and then I don't think we're going to get that level, but you can work it out from there yourselves, I think. So the police had no decent leads until they arrested Hassan on unrelated charges. Thinking he was being arrested for the murder of Mazlan, Hassan confessed to the entire case, including the location of his body.
Boom.
Oh.
Ouch. Yep. Poor little kid.
Oh, what was he being arrested for?
I don't know. But so the day after the killing, Mona went on a shopping spree in Kuala Lumpur, or KL as we like to call it, and later bought herself a Mercedes-Benz and had a facelift. So, that's Carla, your kind of, your guess at the crime, I think. Get the money and live the high life. And Schmidty, yours was the fraudulent shaman.
How much time between them taking the money and her... Because a facelift takes a bit of time to organise.
Maybe she booked it in. It's Malaysia too.
Weeks or months.
They might do walk-in facelifts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, KL.
Maybe she paid a deposit on her facelift.
Yeah, earlier.
She was booked in for surgery.
It depends on the extent of the facelift too, whether it's just a quick slash and dash thing or,
slash and burn.
They
Grab her by the scruff of the head and chop off the slack.
Yeah, that's it. That's what Patsy from Ad Fab had. All right, so
yeah, but to be fair, I reckon I could do with one of those. I keep pulling my neck back, going, yeah, it's time.
Then become a shaman.
Chop someone's head off.
That's going to be Schmidty's problem. She ain't going to fail.
But just in case you or any of the
that was sweet, Stuart.
Because we're not 100% sure just yet whether this is also part of the same career path that Carla was exploring earlier. So is it, pop star, shaman, murderer, or is it just pop star? Maybe
Influencer.
Maybe the shaman's a bit additional, or maybe the murdering is where she started trailblazing. But anyway, just for anyone who is wondering about that,
when I worked for CPA Australia, they had this whole kind of rubric type thing set up where you would answer some questions and it would give you advice on where your career needed to go and what training you needed to do.
Wow.
Maybe there's a whole one of those for this career advice. Oh, let me see. I'm just going to plug in failed pop star. Not a problem. Don't panic.
But there's still options.
What's the statistic now? You have 5 or 10 or 20 careers in your life. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You can go on down and become a shaman. Oh, that sounds good. That's not really working out for me. Don't worry. You could be a murderer. That's the obvious next choice.
I reckon that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
So
it's the only thing that makes sense to me.
So if anyone does get that as career advice, I'd just like to go into the next little bit, which will help you, will hopefully deter you from some of the career options that Mona's taken on. So the 3 of them were tried in the High Court in 1995, charged with murder under Section 302 of the Malaysian Penal Code. Penal Code always makes me laugh. And the crime carries a mandatory death sentence. So things aren't looking so good now. Her career's probably a little bit more dead than it was after Diana. So the trial was...
Ba-da-ching!
Probably the opposite. Now she probably has a level of infamy that she never had before, so she probably quite likes it.
It's funny you say that. The trial was a media sensation. Mona and Fandey were an attractive couple in their late 30s accused of a gruesome voodoo-related murder. That's the first time that
Is that when Craig McLachlan wrote the song?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hey,
Mona.
Mona. Voodoo
I didn't realise it was
Mona.
about a Malaysian murderer.
I tell you, Mona, what I'm gonna do. You don't want...
Cut up your hair and
It's
shake
Such
hands
a
with
musical episode, isn't it?
Don't build a house next door to Mona.
Mona.
Voodoo Mona.
Mona.
So, Mona had a penchant for wearing expensive outfits to court each day. Unlike most people on trial for their life, she always had a smile for the media and seemed to revel in the attention.
Oh.
I think we can say Mona.
Yeah, she's a media whore.
She's a whack job.
Yeah.
I bet sales of Diana went through the roof.
Diana! So the case lasted...
We're doing a re-release and an edit.
Yes, with a
couple
little
of
bit
12
of
inches. And...
mid-90s grunge
Yeah.
thrown in. So the case lasted 65 days.
Couple of cuts of Bugs Bunny in the middle. Hassan chop, Hassan
Hassan
chop.
chop.
And we'll continue.
Yes, exactly that. So it lasted 65 days and heard evidence from 76 witnesses. The prosecution told the court that money was the motive for the killing, Carla, and pointed to the shopping spree, the facelift and the Mercedes. Jeremy, also known as our gay assistant in Hot Pants, testified against Mona and Fandey and revealed the gruesome details of the murder.
Ooh.
So I'm feeling like he's not the mastermind if he's testifying against them. But it did say that he chopped the head off, so he's fairly involved.
He had to have a good reason.
If you find yourself in an intern position and someone asks you to do something that you think, should I?
Well,
Should I? You know, don't get a machete. Don't cut someone's head off. Just quietly leave.
Just
That would be my advice.
Walk away. Don't make eye contact.
That's it.
Leave through the nearest exit.
No, just get out of town.
But you using the word intern then makes me think that perhaps that's how you become a shaman, through internships, rather than going to
Maybe,
TAFE.
yeah.
Work experience kind of thing while you're at school.
Yes,
Yeah.
on-the-job training.
I don't think it's... I agree. I don't
Wonderful.
think it's an apprenticeship model.
No.
I don't think it's a TAFE thing.
No, you can...
I think it's more likely an internship. You're right.
there-
But it would help if your family knew who you know, not what you know. You've got to get in. It's hard.
yeah, it is.
The thing is,
Hard to
Paul,
crack
when
into.
you were talking about what were they, the headdress? What was it? A spatney?
Spatney. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the world of TAFE, there is a thing called an SBAT.
No!
And it's a school-based. It's a school-based apprenticeship training, right? And you're going a spat me, and I'm like, it sounds like an SBAT with a me at the end.
Yeah.
So maybe it is a TAFE program. I'm just not aware of it. Sorry.
There's a new opening for you right there. Yeah.
A new product. Yeah, an old spat me.
Old spat. Yeah. All right. So, Fandey, who is the husband, in his defence, said Maslin owed him 2 million ringgit for a magic cane, talisman and traditional hat said to have belonged to former Indonesian President Sukarno. Mona testified that she also gave talismans and charms to several other UMNO politicians to boost their popularity with the electorate. Goodness. It's such a quality story, isn't it?
It's just... No, I'm sorry, it's the no thing. I just... as the pirate juice has kicked in and I've relaxed a bit, no is just making me laugh. Sorry.
There's every chance I'm offending people culturally. That's not my intent, but sorry, it's literally my ignorance of...
Do we think that had they handed over the cane? Yes.
Yeah.
They had supplied their side of the bargain. He
Yeah.
just hadn't paid
Yeah.
what was agreed. So someone has the cane fully owned by former President.
Sukarno.
Yeah,
Sukarno, yeah.
Yeah, which made him invincible. Turns out it didn't really work because when you take a machete to his neck, he's not invincible.
Yeah.
So I'm suggesting that talisman was shithouse.
Fraudulent.
Did the assistant say that they had just lured him to the house to murder him?
No, that's what they'd done, yes. It only took the 7-member jury just 70 minutes to reach a unanimous verdict of guilty against all 3 defendants. So Fandey and Mona smiled when the foreman of the jury delivered the verdict. Makes sense. Batshit crazy.
They're psychos, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
What?
And Jeremy's counsel, Kapil Singh, told the court that his client was only 24, unemployed, and of low intelligence. It's funny. It's funny because that's it.
It's not funny.
That's it. That's it for the paragraph. I feel like that should be, and therefore you shouldn't.
We should be
kill
nicer,
him.
like be kind to him.
Yeah, you could send him on the piranha ride, for instance.
Some bee stings.
Yeah,
a couple of
See
bee
if he's
stings.
got anaphylaxis from it.
Yeah, that could be fun.
And if that
Take his chances with some bee stings.
Yeah, with
if
a
it doesn't
with a
work,
faulty
just rock the
EpiPen.
boat and chuck him in there.
Feed him to the piranhas.
Why not?
So the judge then asked them if they had anything to say before he passed sentence. And Fandey and Mona replied that they would leave that to the discretion of the court. Because they literally don't care, I think. They're just weird. So there's nothing to try to defend themselves. Just going, whatever you guys reckon will be fun today. I got my Mercedes. I got my facelift. I'm all good, thanks.
We'll roll with it.
Yeah. No, I'm famous. I think more importantly for her, I'm famous.
I got my fame. Maybe also I have my spat me, and I'm invincible. So do what you want, mate.
I'm not giving it back.
Am I bothered?
Exactly.
Am I
We're
bothered?
covered.
I'm telling you, it didn't work. Didn't work for the other guy. Anyway,
Am I bothered? Is my face bothered?
not bothered. No.
Not bothered, that's right.
So he then passed the death sentence on each of them, that they be taken from court to a recognised prison and later be hanged till they were dead.
What was the thing to a recognised prison?
Yeah. Not just to a...
What did she? Was that one of her stipulations? It's like it needs to be a brand of prison that people are going to know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
A famous
Right.
prison. Yes, exactly.
I want a recognised prison. That's been my request.
I want one with good
that
media
prison.
coverage.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
It's got to have good media coverage or I won't
Yeah.
go there.
And Wi-Fi.
Must have Wi-Fi. Immediate uploading. So after hearing her...
That's right, because she's an influencer.
Exactly. So after hearing her sentence, Mona said, "I'm happy and thank you to all Malaysians." She was photographed smiling as usual as she was led from the court to prison. So their appeals were heard in June of 1998. All 3 appeals were dismissed and the death sentences upheld. In April 2001, the Pardons Board turned down their pleas for clemency, leaving the way clear for their execution.
Ooh.
Do you want to hear a little bit about their executions? You know, we like to explore the gruesome sometimes.
Why not?
Sure.
What else are we going to...
we should, round it out.
What else are we going
Well,
to do?
they've chopped someone's head off and cut him
Yes.
up into 18 pieces.
Yeah, they've got to get something.
And really, like if you're
Respect the victim.
and if you're one of our listeners, stuck in traffic listening to this, you could be listening to Talkback Radio. You could be listening to Drive Time Radio with unfunny jokes and annoying hosts who laugh too much. Why not just hear a little bit of Mona and her story? So
What would Alan Jones say?
Exactly.
He would say something like, stick a sock down her throat or make her eat out of a chaff bag.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kill the fuckers. Let's make what are those things called? Let's make bagpipes out of her lungs.
Goodness, that
That
escalated.
sounds very Alan Jones.
I literally just made that up on the spot after your gruesome statements, but I figured it might work.
The things I said were actually quotes from what Alan Jones said.
It doesn't surprise me. I can't stand the bloke, so...
No, I don't. Me neither. Anyway, it was your Talkback Radio. And by the way, I hate Talkback Radio. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, because they always talk back. Just shut up and listen. That's the problem with society. No one wants to listen. The hangings were set for dawn on Friday the 2nd of November 2001, so just gone 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah, this week.
Yeah, in Kajang prison. Hopefully that's famous enough for Mona.
It's recognisable. That one, yes.
Yeah, I know it.
Remember that one?
Oh, that's quite
I
famous.
know it, yeah. So on the previous day, Mona and Fandey were allowed an 8-hour visit with about a dozen members of their families. It was reported that they spent their last hours advising their children from both their own marriage and their previous marriages to grow up to be good people, unlike us. I feel like they didn't say that bit. But...
Do you think it is an indication of regret, or you just think that they're just nuts and just saying whatever?
I reckon in other cases it might be a bit of regret and, don't do what I did, be good people. I feel like Mona, when she says grow up to be good people, really means grow up to be media whores and be famous.
Yes.
If you're not famous, you're not good people.
Right.
Use this platform we've created for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because by
Do
all
what I
accounts-
did.
Don't waste it.
Yes, don't use
If I could have been as famous as this when I was your age.
Exactly.
I tried desperately through an unsuccessful singing career. Now I've paved the path for my own family.
You're made now, you people. You're made. Be good people.
We have catapulted you into the spotlight. Choose wisely, young Padawan. So there was lots of crying and hugging, blah, blah, blah. It was also reported that Mona had said that she would never die just because she was executed.
Oh, there you go. That's why she's never really been that bothered. She was
$50 says you will.
special. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's a religious statement. That might say a lot about faith.
I can't remember what source this came from, but literally the next sentence is, it is not known what she meant by that. I feel like it's not known what she meant by most of what she said.
Thank you, Malaysia. Thank you.
Probably, but
Yes.
I'm going to hazard a guess that they're Muslim, and so they have a thing about,
An afterlife or something.
an afterlife. Thank you. Yeah. No, I believe they have something, like Christians about faith about afterlife, and she's probably referencing that, but, you're right. Who knows what she was talking about, because she's cray-cray.
Well, Elvis Presley's still alive, so, so is Mona.
Hey, Mona.
Mona has left the building.
Mona.
Oh, Mona.
It's normal practice for the condemned prisoners to be given food of their choice for their last meal. However, this offer was declined. Apparently, according to prison
do we know what
sources,
they chose?
they were very calm, saying very little and requesting nothing in their last hours. As it turns out, and Schmidty, you may...
It's very early in the morning, though.
Yeah, it was dawn, but, you get a last meal before that.
Yeah.
But you know how sometimes
right.
you do your research and you might have had a wine or two or whatever. I do specifically recall seeing something about KFC in there, and I wish I could have found that again to see whether they actually did request KFC or whether they said hell no to KFC, or whether maybe I just felt like KFC at the time. I don't really know, but there was definitely something
Popcorn chicken.
that is very non-specific.
Popcorn
about
chicken,
KFC.
I'm betting.
Could have been popcorn chicken.
Probably
know,
not a
right?
zinger
Yes,
burger.
exactly. Just a couple of
No
zingers,
way.
thanks.
You got to have at least 2 coffees and your morning poo.
I definitely would have gone for the zinger burger.
Yeah. I reckon though. Now I'm getting into punishment. So and it's not even real punishment because we don't really even know if they wanted that. But if she did want a zinger burger, I'd probably send her an original recipe one just to piss her off as part of the punishment. But that's another story.
The 3 were given a meal of KFC the night before. Yep, you're right. Yep.
Oh really?
It doesn't say whether it was a zinger. Yeah. Doesn't mention whether it was a zinger or
that's what they
popcorn
had.
chicken, but it was
3-piece pack.
KFC. I don't know. Did they have potato and gravy? Did they go the coleslaw? Don't know.
No, that'll go straight through them.
Oh, it's so inappropriate. Oh, who cares? Everything's
I'm so
going through
nervous.
them. Have you?
I'm so through me.
When someone dies, they defecate. They're shitting regardless. Don't worry.
I know. So you wouldn't want the hot and spicy, would you?
I just feel like she's sitting there going,
I would.
now I've made it.
Oh my God, I would. If I was going to be executed, I'd have all the Indian, I'd have all the spicy food so that whoever has to clean up after me. This is my final statement. I'm just going to shit myself badly when I die, and you have to deal with that. There you go.
Spicy.
Take that.
If only it was the person who sentenced you that had to clean up your mess. It's probably some poor, underpaid,
Yeah. Don't care. At that point, if someone's executing me, fucking I don't care who has to deal with it. I'm just leaving it there for them.
Yeah.
Take that, motherfucker.
Oh, you're not going to start apologising. Look, I'm really sorry in case that gets a little messy afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
I do
No,
apologise.
sorry. I had some cabbage, followed by some kimchi, and then I had some spicy, whatever the hell makes me shit a lot. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway.
Yeah, but no, good chat though.
Yeah.
So that's really it. I could explain to you a little bit more about the actual hanging, but you've probably seen Game of Thrones or movies where people get hanged, and it's all much the same. But the last little bit I would like to give.
It's not much of a muchness, I think my mother would say.
Yeah, that's
Not
right.
much of a muchness.
There's a little bit of kicking and thrashing, and someone gets no oxygen and breaks their neck, and that's it.
Oh.
Anyway, so if
I'd like to think in a modern execution the neck is broken instantly and that you don't kick and thrash and choke to death. You're supposed to.
Well, I think even
if you die by hanging in this day and age, you're supposed to just have a broken neck immediately.
Are you?
Oh.
And if you have a broken neck immediately, does it stop your kicking?
Who's setting that rule, Schmidty?
Yes, it would stop. Well, you may have some nerve thrashing,
Like a chicken?
but you're.
God. Yeah.
There may be some nerve thrashing, but I believe that modern hanging is the breaking of the neck. You're meant to die instantly, pretty much.
What demarcates the line of modern hanging? Is that something that
Oh
came
yeah,
in the,
no. Well, sorry.
recently?
Yeah. I cannot tell you the exact year, Carla,
I know
but I can tell you that there was a period of time.
Oh, dude,
when
when was the advent
when
of modern...
nooses. Nooses used to just literally choke you out, and people would, the thing about people hanging onto your legs and pulling you down to actually kill you. Basically, they were doing that as a kindness. In modern time, and Paul apparently knows exactly when that was. But in modern times, they've perfected the art of hanging people so that the neck will break instantly, so that you are not torturing a person. So the execution's not meant to be torture. It's meant to be just expediting you to shuffle off your mortal coil. Sorry, Paul, what were you going to say?
Carla, hanging went to modern hanging around the same time as love went to modern love, which I think was in the early to mid 80s. Maybe was it David Bowie?
Modern love, yes.
Modern love. Modern
Love.
Yes.
Walks beside me, modern love. Walks on by,
Modern love.
gets me to the church on time. Modern hanging terrifies me. I think that's how it goes.
Oh.
Yes.
Anyhow.
So that's when modern hanging came about, I believe. So the last bit I've got for the story is there has been a movie released, and I must say that it is loosely based on the story. For those interested, it's called, and I'm going to get this wrong too, Dukun maybe, or Dukun, D-U-K-U-N, which if you spell it backwards is naked, which could be someone being knackered.
You're nugget.
Or it could be that they're...
You're nugget.
You're nugget, exactly. Like
It might be that.
Go get nugget.
Nugget. I'm
It is.
gonna nut punch you till you're nugget.
Or it might be the firm piece you find after you've been executed.
Right. So that's today's story, everyone.
Cracker. All right then. Shall we explore our sentencing for this?
Yes. So there is you've heard your crime or crimes. You've heard how they were sentenced. You should now pick your own crime within that story and sentence appropriately.
Well, I'll go first while Carla, you think about it, because Clarky gave me
silent, going.
No, because Clarky gave me some good ideas about it, and yes, as we alluded to earlier, I do work in the education space. Not going to mention my employer. However, there is a lot of compliance around education, particularly in Victoria. Oh, everywhere actually in Australia. And I'm not sure that ASQA, who are the Australian Skills Quality Authority, would have been okay with the shaman school of no regret that these people went to.
Can I just interrupt? Do you think ASQA would say no to the school of shaman? Or would they say yes?
Oh, I'm pretty confident that ASQA would say no. No, we're not having any of this.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm not from the education space, Schmidty, but I would say that I think that, they look at the education space in a different way than they used to. It used to be very academic, and now that, there's more of a sway to sort of things that are more vocational. And I think they want to give people more opportunities. So I think if, shamanism is a thing that people, started to pursue as a career, they would just want to make sure there were correct boundaries and, there was a curriculum in place so that they could actually manage it. I think that, perhaps they would say no, but perhaps in the right circumstances and the right framework that potentially they might consider it.
So they might say, maybe.
They might do. If I went on training.gov.au and I had a look at the core and elective units of shamanism, I'm betting that beheading is probably not an accredited unit in the Certificate 3 shamanism.
Yes.
I'm just going to make up a code for that. SHA4417, whatever. I doubt that there would be a unit that says when someone is waiting for coins to fall from the heavens, cut their head off. Yeah, I don't think that is part of the accredited training package.
That's why I think it's important that there is the rules. I think you're quite right. And I think if they were very clear about what all of the units were, then, perhaps it's something that would help the entire industry.
That may
it's all about reputation.
Shaman 101. It could be Shaman 101.
Oh, no, I think that's an advanced diploma.
Or,
It's an advanced diploma. It's an advanced diploma.
A doctorate.
Yeah, but then you've crossed boundaries because now you're talking about a higher education qualification, which is regulated slightly different to what I'm talking about.
Thinking more a few days theory and a little bit of prac work,
Yeah.
Oh! Please don't undervalue.
Like an apprenticeship work.
Please don't undervalue the vocational education space. I think you find that we need at least 20 hours around this unit, which is whether or not, in an advanced diploma, whether or not when to behead or when not to behead. And I'm pretty sure that you should never behead. Yeah, never behead. So I would say that the School of Mona, all right, up for debate for Paul, but spending a lot of time in this space, I'm pretty sure that occupational health and safety is pretty important in these things, and we want to make sure that our apprentices and students are safe. There's a lot of blood when you behead someone, and there's a lot of PPE. Gotta have the
beheading is a legitimate way to kill chickens on a farm.
It's probably also a legitimate way to kill chickens in the context of shamanism, right? So shamans will, on occasion, I'm sure, kill a chicken, cut its entrails out, throw them on the ground and see what they're telling you. For a chicken. But I'm not sure it extends to a human being. Okay, so if I was doing this from a regulator's perspective, I would do an audit and I would determine the failings of the audit, and then I would fine the registered training organisation for inappropriate or non-compliant behaviour. So what was it, 2.5 million... What were the units of... Ringgits. Thank you. Yeah, ringgit. So if it was 2.5 million ringgit that they were making out of this course, I would fine them 10 million ringgit. And That is for inappropriate and non-compliant RTO behaviour. And there's my sentence. As weak and ridiculous as it is.
But so, remember at the start when you tried to guess the crime based on the music, and you both did such an exceptional job of it. Schmidty, one of yours was fraud. So what if she actually never, ever got her advanced diploma in shamanism, but just said she did? Is there a crime, is there a punishment that you give to people who say that they've had a TAFE education when they haven't? You should at least get 300 hours of boring lectures as punishment if you say that you've got an education when you haven't, surely. Just for all those people who had to go through those boring lectures to get that education in the first place. Like, no one enjoys that.
Yeah, but I think when people claim education or claim qualifications that they don't have, there's not necessarily a specific, punishment for that. I think that you are discredited.
No, but they claim to... Well, yeah, you should definitely be. But Mona's already discredited. I feel like, though, you could...
Mona's a dickhead.
If you say you've got the education, then you're saying that you've gone through the lectures, but you haven't really. And if you have, you haven't paid attention, which I'm also okay with. But you've also got to then pass the test if there is one. But I feel like she should just get... If it was that she didn't go to School of Shaman and pass, then she should do a lot of boring shaman lectures.
She's got to do a lot of theoretical work, really boring theoretical work. She's probably got to work on Moodle, which is the open source education platform. You got to work on Moodle. You got to waste a lot of time, and at the end of it, we just say you fail anyway because you're a loser.
Well, that's Mona done.
My punishment is a little bit simpler.
Yes, go!
I thought what I would like to do is I would like to take it a step back so that we could have avoided the beheading, because I find that
a little too much,
entirely disturbing. Yeah, a little too much. But I was thinking if we could take a step back and we could look at the politician who was corrupt, and Mona and Mo and the little, effeminate assistant. I thought, seeing as though they were all talking so much shit.
There was no evidence that he was effeminate. No one said that he was gay. Or effeminate. Sorry, because gay doesn't mean effeminate either. Before I get the emails,
he was just like a real doer.
I disagree.
He wanted the spotlight as much as Mona, and that's why they got along so well, you see.
I disagree.
Just because Mona was,
she wanted to be a star.
It was an SBAT. You didn't know better. It was a schools-based apprenticeship.
No. I clearly heard that he was a gay assistant during the recording of this. Now, that's enough fact for trial by wine. Don't get carried away.
Thank you, Clarky.
Stay on point.
I may have dealt on his character development a little bit through this episode, so that I've been building his character and... it's all for the telly movie.
It's a little bit like, it's my Guatemalans, it's my natural hit.
Yeah, precisely. He's a little sidekick. I like him. He's
He's good with an axe, that's for sure.
So
yes,
unfortunately. So I want to stop it before it gets to that.
You know how in TV where they say, cut, I feel like he got the sign wrong and just went...
He misunderstood.
Whoopa!
Oh.
You're gone, bitch.
It's so enthusiastic. So what I was thinking of doing, the corrupt politician, Mona, Mo, and the assistant.
Yes.
Because they were already part of this sort of very underhand dealing, corruption, fraud, and they were all misrepresenting themselves and talking a lot of shit. I thought what we could do was bring in the New Zealand caravan that you talked about at the opening of the episode and force feed them, not from the fuel line, line, to give them a taste, a very rich taste of their own medicine.
After a couple of zingers and that curry that Schmidty was talking about.
And if they can deal with that, I've got a whole poo barge. I've got a whole poo barge that we can feed them.
Yes, have a swim in that.
I couldn't remember where in New Zealand the caravan was. Can you recall that, Clarky?
Or it was Auckland.
Auckland.
Well, that's where the story came from. Yeah.
Caravan park, whatever.
Effluent.
Yeah.
Very effluent.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
are.
yeah. You are affluent, Kimmy.
You're so effluent, yes. That's the thing. She wants to be affluent, our
Yeah.
dear Mona. We'll show her how that
Yes.
her lying and sorcery can get her, she'll become effluent.
Yes.
So there you go. That's my punishment.
Dole out a bit of Kath and Kim
Good
on
one.
her.
Hopefully, I would hope that would set them all on the right path and then they would not have to murder someone, which I just, doesn't sit
Just
comfortably with
don't
me.
agree with.
No.
No. Especially when she's so comfortable with it. I mean, she's obviously an absolute piece of work.
Yeah.
Piece of work being code for sociopath. But okay.
Whereas,
Yeah.
yeah.
Piece of
And
work.
he's an eight.
Yeah.
He's an
Murdering,
yeah.
narcissistic psychopath.
Yes, and our victim is a 18 piece of work.
Oh,
Oh,
poor
yes.
thing.
18-piece pack, I'd say.
Too far?
Is that like Kentucky Fried Bucket?
That's an 18-piece bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
That's an 18.
Oh, no.
I hope it's hot and spicy.
All right, Clarky. Oh, God. It was Malaysia. Of course it's hot and spicy.
I've given no thought at all to crimes or punishment with this, but for no good reason other than I just haven't. So let me just give a little bit of a think about what possible crimes could be, because I'm not cool with going to see a shaman in the first place, let alone going to see a shaman who you owe money to because you made a deal with them and you then didn't come through with your part of it. So I don't know. I know that's not a crime, and I know that a suitable punishment for that is not being cut up into a KFC bucket. But
Yeah, like you duped a liar. I mean, how is like it's a neutral crime, isn't it? Like I didn't pay for services not really rendered because they were talking shit.
well, no, there is that, but also it's like an escalating crime then, because they are not people that you want to be associated with anyway. And then if you've done wrong by them, are they just going to go, oh well, now we're even? Or are they going to go, come over and we'll make money fall from the sky? But in fact, it'll be the gay bloke.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have gone over because he was really stupid. But yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah, I feel like also if you're lawyers of people who are... What did they say about that poor bloke? He was something and not intelligent or whatever.
He wasn't clever.
Yeah, a bit...
He was misled as fuck, I think is the correct term.
Intellectually disabled, maybe.
I'm gonna go with misled as fuck because that's that
Fair enough.
conjures up less images of people who are just challenged in life generally. So poor bloke, I feel like he needs to have a sentence on Mona and Mo because he's died because he did his internship in shamanism or shamanistic shamanism. Is that a
Cert 3 shamanism. They did the certificate 3
it's more
shamanism.
like, it's sham. Yeah, but it also needs to have like a shamanistic Cert 3 in shamanism because there's actually nothing about it that is going to make you
Correct. Yeah.
have any kind of shaman power. So it's like a fraudulent Cert 3 in fraud or something.
When I'm at work, they're talking about a hypothetical course and they say it's Cert 3 basket weaving. From here on out, I'm going to start saying, you mean there's Cert 3 shamanism? Yeah, that's our new hypothetical course.
That's much better. Yeah.
There you go. Well done.
Comes with bone and hatchet courses. Maybe I'm not going to come up with a sentence, but maybe just some solid advice that if you're going to be a shaman if you're going to be a pop singer who then is going to go on to other careers, Australia is a good place to do that because we've seen that on a number of occasions. In fact, we just heard Christine Arnoux on the radio today, so that was really lovely.
All right.
Yeah. So she's now a radio host.
Announcer.
But if you're...
Is she?
Yeah. Fantastic. But if you're going to be someone and sing songs like Diana, and then go, this is not for me,
Diana!
and then become a shamanistic shaman, and your E's are actually bad, not good, and then you're going to murder someone, and murder
From the no
under the
party.
mandatory death from the no party.
Correct.
Not the maybe party or the yes party. If that comes with a mandatory death sentence, just don't do that in Malaysia. For fuck's sake. Like, go somewhere else.
Just don't
if you're
do it
gonna
anywhere,
that,
frankly. No.
Well,
No,
yeah,
no.
or maybe, no, your point is spot on. Maybe what I should be saying is, if you're going to do that, and that's going to be your career path, go to Malaysia, because they will treat you as you should be treated. So maybe all of our failed pop singers should be sent to Malaysia, just in case. Or maybe all of our failed shamans should be sent to Malaysia, just in case. And that way, it'll never lead to murder. And if it does, they will never have the opportunity to release a single again, because they'll be dead.
Yeah, or they should do Cert 3 basket
Right.
weaving.
Yeah. So at least Cert 3 in debt collecting that doesn't involve
Yeah.
bringing the hatchet down.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. There was no need for that. Oh, Paul, as per usual, cracking story. Excellent work. Oh,
Thank you.
it was
Finding them, that's for sure.
I was worried that wasn't. Yeah, I was worried that wasn't going to be good enough. But I just thought, oh, will it work? Won't it work?
Chuck it in.
It's probably a conversation
Oh
for
no,
after.
Diana had so many facets.
How could that not be good enough?
No,
You know,
sorry,
you've got a
Mona,
failed
no,
pop singer, you've got a woman named Mona, you've got a beheading and a KFC bucket of 18 pieces, you've got a special needs person who did that Hassan chop, you've got
Hang on.
shamanism.
He was
You brought
gay.
it all to the table. Well, that doesn't.
All the
I don't. I'm
inappropriateness.
not relating the two factors. I'm not relating the two factors. And by the way, no one proved to me he was gay. That's just what you two said. Just saying. So you two
Hang
can
on,
deal
but-
with the
but-
complaint
Oh no,
mail,
I
not
totally
me.
made that up.
No, but nobody said that he was dumb other than some lawyer, and they speak shit anyway. And nobody
His own
said
lawyer, his
How
defense
dare you.
lawyer. His own defense lawyer said
Well,
he
that's
was
it.
intellectually not good.
That is his defense.
Can you believe that?
Correct. He was a bit dumb. I can. He cut someone's head off for no apparent reason. I can. Oh my God, Clarky. Such a good story. I feel sorry for the Hassan chop, but Mona and her husband, whatever. Anyway, thanks very much. And as per usual, miss you already, my darlings.
Miss you already.
more.
Love you long time. Mwah.
Great episode. Cheers,
Thank
Carla.
you. Until next time.
See you later. You
Bye.
guys rock. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thanks for listening to Trial by Wine. You can contact us at trialbywine@gmail.com. Please rate, review, and subscribe to Trial by Wine on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to support us, you can become a patron at www.patreon.com, Trial by Wine, or visit our website www.trialbywine.com to donate to us. Your support will help us cover many more cases and apply wacky sentences. We really appreciate you listening and hope you tell everyone about us. Our cover art is by John Christo and music is by Beauchamp from pixabay.com.